Hello everyone. I've only got about an hour to do my typing today, so we're going to make it snappy. Well, an hour's quite long anyways. But yeah, so we're going to be typing Angela Benedict, and I've got again a hint from Gamma Quadra, and I actually saw it by accident. So now I know that Angela Benedict is not F. And I can understand why she said that, because let's look at what she looks like, this chick. Angela Benedict, she looks like a kind of an emo. Oh fuck, no. So you look at that. So you think, oh, definitely F. But apparently not. So, just a quick overview. Is there anything to say about Andy Samberg? Anything to say about Andy Samberg? Well, I wrote down in a comment actually underneath that video, and I might do that again from now on. Just write in comment, learnt these things while I'm watching the video. It was interesting. I believe that this is his type. It was interesting to see. I was talking a lot about the over-the-top weird any, like EP any energy, and his jokes, but maybe that's just EP general, and the reason. I mean, it could be like the SE, like looking for new physical possibilities that exist, as opposed to new concepts. So maybe that's where I was seeing that from, because it was still kind of like out there, but S. So there's that. What I wanted to say something about typing in general. What is typing? Because I can see, for me, there's a real distinction between typing a person on a YouTube video, like doing like this live quick typing, and actually typing someone to the end full on. And I've only had that experience with people I know, people I talk to a lot, because even my parents and my sister, I have a hard time getting their type down properly. I'm getting more and more hints, because I'm also learning the code while I'm doing it, but I'm getting more and more hints. So I've got some ideas, but actually the only people I'm really pretty sure of the whole type is my girlfriend Fien and me. And I've just got some hints of other people that I've noticed while being around them. But you really have to just talk with someone a long time to see the coins come out. So that's why typing in 1 hour is a completely different ball game, and I would not actually recommend doing that before you've learned how to see a coin. Like, just understand fundamentally what a coin is, and seeing it in someone, and see that coin come back, over and over again in their lives, and say, okay, so now I can see this, and see how spontaneous and helplessly it happens. And only then can you start, then the typing on videos, that's just gathering data on all these people. You want to make sure you know a whole bunch of people's types for sure, and then you just watch them, and then you're actually watching how that type manifests, and getting lots of little anecdotes of, oh, this type looks like this. So you're not actually typing, you're sort of looking at what comes out of that type. Is that too abstract? Probably. All to say that I do recommend first really understanding just one coin, a couple things, something that comes back regularly at with one of your friends, and then seeing that, and then growing out from there. But yeah, obviously you do what you want, and I'm not doing that really myself, because I'm practicing like this. So blah blah blah. I did have something that did mean something what I just said, but it's hard to make my point clear, steadfast. Maybe next time it'll work better. Okay, so let's see. Our subculture is not your hashtag. Culture. Okay, so we've jumped into typing this girl now. We're just looking at some titles. That time ravers killed the entire goth scene. So she's a representative of the goth culture. So that's what does that mean? What does that mean? She has her identity, and she's linked her identity to a certain group of people and rejected another group of people by doing that. So she's chosen her tribe. Okay. So, what does this mean? Again, I should say this at the beginning of every video. I will put this person's type, Angela's type, in the doobly-doo. So that while you're watching me type her, you can see where I make mistakes and where I get it right. And like that you can learn from my mistakes, because making mistakes is a great way to learn and to not make that mistake in the future. Hashtag Veritasium. Okay, so let's go. Answering a question featuring my husband. Featuring my husband. Okay. Spooky story time. Often you... Ooh. When getting into goth. I am not attracted to that culture. At all. My goodness. Okay, The Goth Boy Who Broke My Heart, summer of 1996. Darkness. It makes me think of the goth kids in South Park. You've got the goth kids versus the emo kids versus the vampires. It's all the same. And you've got, what's his name? Night Pain, who is that poet. What's his name? Fuck. You're a poser. They're all posers. Okay. In the 90s. Oh, so she's reminiscent. She's talking about the 90s. Interesting. Like, most people are like into this year. And she's like, nah. I'm remembering the 90s. Okay. Aging like a goth. An esthetician's skincare routine. This could be a challenge of its own. Like, type in the name of the person, and just with the video titles, can you guess their type? That would be an interesting exercise one day. The Goth Bible. Real goths don't read goth books. Real goths. So it's really about in-group, out-group. Like, this is the real thing. Now, what does that mean? Proper. Proper. I see. I do believe that this is tea. Like, all these titles are about reasons. Explanations. This should be like this. If we follow the logic, then we come to this conclusion. Okay, so hint from Gamma Quadra, not F. Okay. Are you real goth? Let's see.
I know I sound a little bit weird. I'm just getting over a cough/cold. So.
Oh. Sleep. Getting over a cold. This is a joke, by the way, because it's the anecdote for sleep is question mark. Anyone could say that, but it's the anecdote, like, people who have sleep energy, sleep above play, are more likely to talk about how they feel ill, or like, oh, I'm not feeling very good at this moment. Like, they're very aware of small variations in their health, whereas I would not do that. I tried to do it the other day and I just couldn't help. I'd just laugh at myself. Oh, I'm ill. Like, lol.
I know I'm going to sound a little bit off, and if my voice cracks during anything, I guess just consider it comic relief. So of course I have all these ideas for videos that I'd like to do, but very little time considering that I have work now, so it's been a very fine balance. But one of the videos that I've been really wanting to do is to relaunch a book project. Some of you may or may not recall there was this book project. I'll get into that in a minute. But something that brought my attention to the forefront, or brought this book rather to the forefront of my attention, was an issue being brought to my attention. Not so much an issue, more of a kale and what the fuck smoothie being blended in real time on social media, in which I was tagged in. So those of you who are familiar with my channel, and even just close friends, knowing how devoted I am to the history and the endurance of our scene and the preservation of such, they just love to tag me in issues or just explosions that are going on, or discussions that they know that I would be interested in. And I think some of them are a little interested to see if I will have any input, and what that input will be, because I tend to be a little bit explosive sometimes, but
Tend to be a little bit explosive sometimes. I'm getting some masculine DE vibes. I'm getting visual vibes. Could be not visual. It could absolutely be not visual. Just putting that one there. One possible visual. Because she's got, the makeup, and she's like aware of the visual spectrum, which coincides with masculine DE. Visual means masculine DE and feminine S. Now, what else? Quite. I definitely believe it's T. Like, she's right in there. Our scene, defending us.
For the most part, I really like to pick my battles. This one I had a bit of a stake in, because it's something that hit close to home for me. And the Gothic Border Patrol was out in full force. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those people that are a fan of the trigger-happy folk that are so quick to cry foul the second somebody sneezes and it sounds like the word Bauhaus. Bauhaus! Even people who are openly opinionated to the point of outright snobbery, I would just consider them pretentious. But to somebody who was new to the scene, they'd have been put off and felt very confronted by such a display. I'm an adult. I have bared the brunt and witnessed my share of shitty behavior, but I could tell you with absolute certainty that as a baby bat, I would be in full-on abort mission mode in 0.5 seconds and would have thrown my hands up and said, that's it. Goth is not for me. Goths are mean. And that's a tragedy, because somebody would have been pushed away. To those of you who have been with me for a while, you might remember this book. It was a video I did regarding Mick Mercer, Hex Files, Goth Bible. And the whole point of it was, I send you the book, you slip something personal or sentimental within its pages. It could be a club pass, really anything, and then you send it on. The point really was to have you relate to something physical, give you a real look about what goth was like more than 20 years ago, and to connect to other goths. However, the book project was put on hold for nearly a year because its first recipient decided to hold on to the book and then stop answering all correspondence, but was online begging for weed money. So, long and short of it, I had to PayPal her the money to get the book back to me. And now I have it again. The reason that I chose this book for my project is that it helped me immensely, and it came out during a time where Goth had very, very little presence on the internet with regards to music, people, and where to go. So the release of this book was great, I mean, as a young teenager, because it put me in touch with so many aspects of the subculture that I didn't even know existed in my own city, as well as introduced me to new music. What was even more intriguing to me is that it showed me the worldwide influence of the goth scene, because as I knew it, it was basically US, UK, and Germany. It was everywhere.
Okay. I feel like she's spitting it all out at me, this girl. Like, okay. Now, community. I feel like I'm typing her like super quickly. I am thinking decider because it's all about community and the identity and our group. Just thinking decider. I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. But I am thinking TEFI. Like, she has attached her FI to goth culture for some reason. Like, I'm in there. Hello. Oh, this is what this is? Okay, I like it. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to stay here, and I'm not going to go looking for the next better thing. This is it. This is where it's at. Since 1996. And I'm hinting at this means OI. So I'm thinking TEFI. This is what I like. And I'll fight you on the reasons. And I said, don't. What's the expression? Don't change a winning team. Don't move away from a winning team. Don't leave a winning team. Goth since 1996 or probably earlier. Okay. Because I would be like, as an EP, I can't do that. Like, that's something I wish I could do, is to be like, oh, this is good, I like this, let's go this forever. But my crazy imagination thinks, yeah, but I don't know what else exists in the world. There are a million possibilities of things that could exist in the world and that do exist. And how do I know there's not that, this is pretty good, but how do I know there's not something that's like 10 times better that I just haven't heard of before? How do I know? Well, you do some SE, that helps, It's possible. Just do some statistics. And also just trust that you trust your feelings. You've got to trust your feelings, not your thinking. If it feels good, then it's good. You don't need to wonder if it feels better than something else. It's good or it's not good. That's it. Also, good enough is good enough. I'm satisfied with having nothing. Having nothing is ground zero, is perfectly tolerable and fine. Anything better than that is great, is bonus. So there could be something even better, but this is already really good. So I don't really need to expend more energy. It's not worth it. Because I could find something worse. What was I talking about? Don't leave a winning team. So I said I was thinking decider because it's all about identity and stuff, but it could be the lead OI thing. Or she could be OE. I don't know.
Goths in Africa, completely plausible now.
Goths in Africa! Yes!
Nowadays, but to find that out at 16, it was mind-blowing.
Okay, see, so she is trying to look That's the thing. Is this OI narrowing down, or is it from your FI expanding out? Like, I've chosen this one thing, and now I want to learn all about all the different possibilities of that thing. The different goth factions. OE. Where did I get all this energy
was
from?
opening up exponentially, and it was fascinating reading about and seeing photos of these goths from every documented corner of the earth. Text files. The Goth Bible came out in 1996 when I was 16 years old, and coming up in the goth scene in New York City and Long Island, a time when things were thriving. Now let's talk music, particularly industrial and EBM. The premise for the whole outcry that demanded we burn these books because those genres are featured within its pages of deception. During the time of the release of this book, our numbers were huge. We had massive venues. There were no shortage of concerts. We had record shops that had sections that catered to our genre of music. I'll give you an example. Bauhaus did a reunion tour in 1998 at Hammerstein Ballroom, a concert hall that holds 2,200 people. They did 2 nights in a row, and they sold out both nights. Now, barring those who might have gotten tickets for both nights in a row, and they sold a concert hall
out facts.
Bauhaus did that had sections that catered during the time of the release of this premise for the whole outcry that demanded we burn these books because those genres are featured within its pages of deception. During the time of the release of this book, our numbers were huge. We had massive venues. There were no shortage of concerts. We had record shops that had sections that catered to our genre of music. I'll give you an example. Bauhaus did a reunion tour in 1998 at Hammerstein Ballroom, a concert hall that holds 2,200 people. They did 2 nights in a row, and they sold out both nights. Now, barring those who might have gotten tickets for both nights in a row, we'll call the number 3,900. And those are the ones that just happen to like Bauhaus. I'm sure you've heard people say, oh, Bauhaus is overrated. So as you know, they can be a bit of an acquired taste. So just in the state of New York, that's 3,900 people that showed up. So it's a pretty big scene. Here's a...
It's a pretty big scene. So she starts with, it's a pretty big scene. Then she gives an example and explains the example some more. And ends with, it's a pretty big scene. So, is this an example of N, the point is N, or is it S? Or is it punching with S? Like, here's my proof. Here's my proof that it's S. Here's my proof that it's a big scene. She's not saying, it's a big scene. Here's some proof. It does make me think more like S. Like, she did feel like giving that example, thought it was important. I wouldn't have... I could have done... It's not obvious to me to give examples. It's like, you get it, I told you what the concept is, you get it. Oh, okay, I'll give you an example. Oh, but this example isn't a perfect illustration of the concept I'm telling you, so I shouldn't tell you the example. Okay, so I'm thinking S or masculine S. Big scene, example, exempli gratiat.
Clip from that very show. I'm way up at the top, all the way to the left of the stage. God, I wish I was closer.
Stick around so you get to see Bauhaus. Seeing Bauhaus for the first time. I can't believe this is happening.
Greatest band on the face of the earth. Enjoy it while you can, because we will never see their like again.
I always had in my mind they were never, ever going to play again. This is long overdue.
It looks so funny. Um, she's very angry, isn't she? Not a criticism. Definitely not. Just noticing. Where's the anger? She's defending. I can see it like defending her FI. Like, I like this, and seems pretty straightforward. And S-I or S-E? I don't know. S-E-T-E is like Minna. Minna. And I do think she has a certain similar vibe. Minna, the severity. It has to be SI, like this was the real thing. Back in the day. And now it should be the same.
The reason that our numbers were so big and we had so much going on had a lot to do with the fact that goth and industrial were very much intertwined. Coming into it in 1994, it was just the way that things were, but looking at it objectively some 25 years later, I can definitely see why it worked so well. We went hand in hand because alone we really couldn't sustain, and as a standalone club, a goth night or an industrial night, it wouldn't work. But put the two together, suddenly we're having bigger venues, and we have bigger numbers, and the reason that the music worked so well together, because the industrial EBM that you know today versus the industrial EBM of, I guess you would say, my era, it's very different. Back then it was much, much darker, and it blended together so well. So you could see a girl that by today's standards you would call a romantic goth, dancing to Wumpscut, but then you'll see a guy in combat boots and a chain belt dancing away to Sisters of Mercy. So opening up the book and seeing industrial and EBM within the book's pages, it didn't seem out of place or odd in any way. So the way we worked together is that sometimes we shared a dance floor and then other times we had different rooms. But one thing that remained constant is that there was no divide. Wumpscut girl, Sisters of Mercy guy, it didn't make a difference. We're all part of the same tribe. And a really great side effect of this is that we were exposed to a lot more music, and it spread goth that much further. 3 concerts: The Cure, London After Midnight, and Skinny Puppy. 3 very different bands, but going to these shows, we would always see the usual suspects. However, today, you would see people looking into the crowd playing a game of Spot the Difference. I want to touch on some of these issues that have been brought about, and the reason that I want to touch on them is that I don't know how far these words have gotten, and I kind of want to have my say before they get out of hand. It takes a special kind of entitled, arrogant know-it-all to argue, dispute, and then dismiss historical fact and experiences from a person who actually lived the thing versus them who have not, solely because there is no proof in writing that they agree with to back it up. This wiki...
Did you understand that? Okay, so she's saying, I was there in the flesh, and it really takes an arrogant son of a bitch to try to tell me the opposite, to try to tell me something that I know is not true because I was there while they were not there, and not believe it. I probably said it even less clearly just now. But the thing is, I'm not seeing full-blown EJ. I'm not seeing that.
Warrior mentality is something that needs to have its face set on fire. When I see people refer to books such as Hex Files, the Goth Bible, as a money-making scheme, which is rife with inaccuracies and spreading misinformation by people who were not there to experience life during the time of the book's release, it makes me roll my eyes so far into the back of my head I could see inside my own skull. This book is kind of like a Goth Yellow Pages, and
I'm not sure if it's masculine S or feminine S, because she seems like she wants to punch you, and that's kind of a masculine S kind of headbutt kind of thing, like, oh, it's like, yeah, I move the world does not move me.
it depicts life as it was in the early to mid 90s. To lose your shit over a book that came out 22 years ago, claiming that it's going to confuse baby bats, you're missing the point entirely. This book is a relic frozen in time. The scene isn't what it was 22 years ago, and to assume that any new baby bat is going to believe that, you must think they're friggin' idiots. This book is filled with addresses and phone numbers, actual physical brick and mortar places of publications.
So her point is, of the video, real goths don't read goth books. She means today's goths is not the same thing as goths before, and so goths books can only be useful as a historical point of reference, interesting facts, but not as representative of current goth culture, I think is what her point is. Now, I said SI. Does this mean actually Demon SI and Lead NE, as I've been known to mistakenly do? Get the type upside down? Maybe. Or maybe it's the SI-NE axis. I haven't quite gotten that yet. I haven't got enough experience, basically, seeing all the SIs and in different shapes and forms. Good thing I'm doing 100 of these. Number 8 today. Okay, well, I think I'll just go with SI for the moment. What else do I have? I said that info is... I mean, if this isn't info dom, I don't know what it is. Which means consume third if it's blast first. I don't know why I'm saying observer. I'm just saying observer, ST, blast, and then is it sleep or play? Sleep or play? She's pretty big. She's pretty big on energy there. I feel like she's got a high... I'll say play. Play. Consume. So that's one tick off from play, blast, consume, sleep, which is the most extroverted, which was yesterday's Andrew Simmons. Salmon. Andy Samberg. Okay. And what else have I got? I've got... masculine. Did I say double masculine? Did I say double masculine? I said double masculine. Okay, this is my guess. Now, I must remember, I forgot that this one does not count as a well done because it was a hint. So it's a good call, and I got 4 out of 9 yesterday. Again here, the F, I shall not put it down. So O S T D E O I, blast first, play, info. If it's not info, I'll eat my hat. Masculine S, masculine DE. And I'm not putting this one in. This one is a no-no. So, change this here. Andy Samberg is actually, is actually 4 out of 9. And let's go. Observer. Yes! Angela Benedict. See, I haven't quite managed to not care about getting it right or not, have I? Oh well. S. Okay, I knew that. Oh no. S is right. T I knew. D-I. Okay, T-I. Okay. O-E. So that's already 3 wrong with the blast and the consume. Consume. Sleep. Wow. Info. Good. Whew. And masculine S, masculine DE. Okay, okay. So I got 4 wrong. 4 wrong. What is it now? Observer was right. S was right. T. DI. So it's T. That's funny because I was really imagining the FI, like I love goth. Probably a stereotype. That is probably a stereotype of goth. So good to know. Self above tribe. I guess, yeah, my opinion matters. I mean, my opinion is my opinion. I don't care what your opinion is. I did see that. No, you didn't, Adam, you liar. Okay, I didn't see it. OE. Okay, well, you're going to grant me, I did say, is it OE? Is it learning all about different goth factions? I did say that. Consume and sleep. Okay, so the sleep I didn't see. I'll see. I did it very quick today, but it just all came so quickly as well. It's not just because I was trying. Info wars, masculine S, flip, and masculine DE. Tuesday, 5 out of 9. Good. 5 out of 9. Nice. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Let's see. I'm gonna. You don't need to see me doing this. Why am I doing this in live? I want you to see everything, all the behind the scenes. Is it 5 out of 9? Okay. Angelina Jolie. Oh, but I've heard of her already. I heard that it's the same as Brad Pitt. Sorry about the spoilers. You tell me if you don't like getting spoiled about other things, and I'll make sure it's not visible. Anita Ashland. Oh, nothing. Oh. Ha. Hello. Well, I could do live typings of people in the OP group, actually. If anyone thinks that's a good idea, you tell me. And we'll see, maybe I could like watch someone's video and live type them. I mean, that can be quite a lot, showing your video to everyone is quite personal. But if anyone's up for it, then I know you're an observer. Anita Moorjani. Be yourself, live fearlessly. All right, let's do Anita Moorjani next time. That's it for me today. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.